Good evening. Welcome to the City of Opa-locka regular commission meeting, March 23rd, 2023, 7 p.m. Call to order, roll call.
Commissioner Bass,
I'm here.
Commissioner Dominguez,
Here.
Vice Mayor Taylor,
Here.
Mayor Williams.
Here. Commissioner Bass, invocation followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Father God, we just want to thank you for this day, Lord God. We thank you, Lord God, for life, strength. Thank you for health. We thank you, Lord God, for our residents. We thank you, Lord God, for everyone, oh God, who's making an effort to be here tonight. Father God, we pray, Lord God, that we are governed, Father God, according to your perfect will for our city. In Jesus' name, amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic
Madam Clerk, are there any awards, proclamations, or acknowledgements?
No, Madam Mayor.
We will move down to number 8. Can I have a motion to approve the regular commission meeting minutes for March 9th, 2023?
Move it.
Moved by Commissioner Bass,
Second.
second by Vice Mayor Taylor. Roll call.
Commissioner Dominguez,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Taylor,
Yes.
Commissioner Bass.
Yes.
Mayor Williams,
Yes.
motion passes 4-0.
Are there any District 1 or District 2 county commissioner reports? Sorry about that. Let me go back to number 7. I need a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
Move it.
Moved by Commissioner Dominguez,
Second.
second by Vice Mayor Taylor. Roll call.
Commissioner Dominguez,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Taylor,
Yes.
Commissioner Bass,
Yes.
Mayor Williams,
Yes.
motion passes 4-0.
Are there any District 1 or District 2 county commissioner reports?
Not at this time, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Any public presentations? Public presentations? Okay. At this time, we will have citizens forum. Our city clerk will read into record the protocol for citizens forum.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Good evening. City of Opa-locka Commission meetings are held in person at Shabandi Village Auditorium, 215 Purvis Avenue, Opa-locka, Florida. Members of the public wishing to address the commission may do so in person or virtually. Those persons wishing to participate virtually should register prior to the scheduled meeting time on the city's website at www.opalockafl.gov. When speaking before the commission, please make sure to give your full name and address for the record. There is a 3-minute time limit for public comments. Please adhere to the decorum policy, which is part of the commission meeting agenda. City commission meetings are aired through live stream at www.youtube.com/user/City of Opa-locka. And at this time, Madam Mayor, I do not have any virtual public comments.
Okay. Citizens forum is open.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, members of council. I greatly appreciate your time, and it's wonderful to finally meet each of you this evening. I'm resident Alex Van Meckel, and I'm the proud and new owner of one of Opa-locka's few remaining historic homes at 806 Jan Avenue, a street that ironically mirrors my own middle name, ironically enough. I'd like to think that was one of the many cosmic happenings that led me to discovering this exceptionally historic city. I address you tonight about an issue I'm aware many homeowners are concerned about and would like action on. As we look to the future of the city's substantial, I envision one that takes great pride in its upkeep and its appearance. A large part of that requires legislation and a commitment to enforcement. I ask the council to seriously consider the immediate addition to municipal code that would require single and multifamily residences to comply with an open storage ordinance for unsightly miscellaneous items that are clearly visible from the streets and that negatively affect another property. There are countless eyesores in the city because there is currently not an ordinance to enforce, specifically one that could state, quote, "No materials, refuse, and waste materials shall be stored or accumulated outside of a fully enclosed building within any zoning district." What I'm advocating for is to have items such as this placed in an approved, permitted, enclosed structure with 4 walls and a roof. I don't believe any property owner should be allowed to place their items on or against another's property, including a fence, wall, in this case, a 0 lot line circumstance, or otherwise. This verbiage is both common and consistent with other municipal ordinances of similar effect. This is an important moment to elevate enforcement and prevent this from going on. This will help manage not just the appearance of the city, but also any associated health risks and animal intrusions to other properties. I would be more than pleased to speak on the side with any one of you to help with this effort and speak from my own experience. I believe this is an important solution to one aspect of the broader beautification agenda of this great city. Thank you very much for your time, and I look forward to continued discussion on this and my other passion point being historic preservation, which all of you have been on the receiving end of a fantastic, now digitized archive for Bernard Miller's entire architectural drawings from the University of Miami. It is waiting for you in your inboxes, and I look forward to sharing and imparting all of the historical knowledge that I've recently uncovered. Thank you so much for your time.
One 4911 Duval Street, Opa-locka. Okay, I got a problem in the triangle where the Magnolia, where you have those abandoned houses. I'm trying to figure out how can we put liens on those stuff from the city side to where you can be able to take those properties back and revitalize those properties, because there's a lot of little properties, man, the crackheads them live inside the properties. So we need to try to find out. We've been trying to find a solution, but normally cities put liens on them, and normally they go back and foreclose or whatever they got to do to take them properties back. So what I'm trying to find out, when you come in there and you're trying to make the neighborhood a better neighborhood, how can y'all come up with a system to where you can lien all that stuff in there, because the crackheads are living inside those places. So we need to try to find out how can we do that, because there's a lot of stuff in there that's just sitting there, and the crackheads living in there. As they're living inside there, they're vandalizing certain things inside there because they're there. You know, so how can we find that solution? Can y'all answer that question for me, please?
Did you ask a question, Ms. Long?
Yeah, I'm trying to find out what is the solution for that, to come in there and be able to either put liens on the places so y'all can be able to foreclose on it, take the properties back, do what y'all got to do with the properties. So because what happened is it's an inhabitant inside there, because I'm trying to do what I got to do. So if it can keep going, then they're gonna come and break into places before I can finish them or take everything. But I'm trying to find out, how can y'all get the properties back that's sitting there that belongs to part of the people, and y'all can put a lien on it and take it back. Is there a system in here for that y'all have?
So the manager will answer that question during his report, but not right now during citizens. forum.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you.
Good evening. Wow, you can't even say good evening.
Good evening. We said,
John Router, 2963 Northwest 135th Street. Yeah, I expect to respond. It's called manners. Yeah. Madam Mayor, Commissioner, I spoke to you previously about our insurance premium and what it's costing us. We have a certain department in Opa-locka that handles business and licenses. There's a procedure in accordance with 1333 of our Code of Ordinances that is met in order to revoke or not give renew a business license. That's not happening in Opa-locka. The code has been violated. That's why we get sued. That's why we've lost so much money. Not only are we losing the license fees, we're getting sued. The club costs us $1 million, the bar costs land. Just keep on using the taxpayers' money for what? Because people refuse to obey the law. The law says if you're going to not renew a person's license, that you give them grounds in writing, notify them, and then you provide a public hearing. A public hearing is the public notice for the public to know. That's how it's handled. And then if that doesn't work, there's an appeal to the city commission for the city commission to hold a hearing. None of that is happening. And it's a violation of law and it's wrong. Second item I want to talk about, for chapter 166, I'd like you to do that. 166 is the home rule powers for municipalities in the state of Florida. But Florida statute 162 is the code enforcement statute. Tells you about how code enforcement is supposed to work. And it states that before a citation is issued, you give a person a warning. You give them time to cure a problem before you issue a citation. That don't happen in Opa-locka. They do what the hell they want. Forget about you. I want you to understand, from the officers to the person, the person that handles the trials, you, this body, this commission, you make the policy. You're the policy makers. You say how it's going to be in accordance with law and who's going to do what. The building code cannot be enforced by anyone other than the building official. Because it's very simple. If there's a permit, in order to eliminate that permit and say that it is done, he's got to sign for it. Certified by the county, certified by the state, licensed by the county, licensed by the state. Code enforcement has not done that. That's why section 7 of our code says it will be enforced by the building official. That's why 553 of the Florida statute, which is a statewide building code, said it would be called enforced by the building official. That don't happen in Opa-locka. I want to remind all of us, whether we sit on the board or sit on the commission or appointed officials, you took an oath that you would obey the Constitution. You would enforce the ordinance and laws of this state and this city. You would obey its charter, that of the city and that of Miami-Dade County. You took that oath. I expect you to carry it out. Thank you very much.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, Council. My name is Gloria Hayes, and I live at 1724 Northwest 154th Street. And I'm before you this evening to bring attention to a matter that I believe that's a necessity for the health and well-being of the residents living in the ranging area of 151st and 155th east of 22nd Avenue. That area is still using a primitive septic system, a system that is a financial burden to the elder, to the low income, to the families in that area. And it's a burden, and it's to repair and maintain. And most importantly, It's a system that is environmentally toxic to all the homeowners and to the residing neighbors around them, if not properly maintained. Therefore, we as the residents in that area believe that the best resolve would be to this far too long issue. For years, I've been in this community well over 40 years. My parents moved here from Overtown, one of the first families in that area. And I've been there that time because I acquired the property after my mom's death. So I've been here all my life. And we've had the same system with the same problem, as well as my surrounding neighbors. So this is a plea to City of Opa-locka, to Miami-Dade County, to all of the municipalities that I can get my voice before, because it's a real issue. You can't even sit outside of the stench. So this is a plea that if any plans are in place for this, that they be expedited. And it's an environmental justice that I'm pleading for. So I thank you.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Commission. My name is Dottie Johnson, and I reside at 13724 Northwest 22nd Place. First of all, I'd like to thank the new citizen that bought the historical house, and I truly hope that he continue to come to the meeting because we need his expertise and his youthfulness. First of all, to the commission, to the manager, thank you for a written response of inquiries that I've made and other citizens have made. A couple of them still need to be, but thank you thus far. We took pictures of some of the roads that are being repaired. And I'm also thankful for the Main Street initiative that you all are beginning to work on. And I only know because I'm on now the Planning Council. I finally got my public record requests completed, have not had a chance to give it to the coalition for us to look at it, but I know one thing without looking at it. Public safety is number one. And the salaries for our police officers in this city should not be compared to the police officers of Miami-Dade County. They make more than ours in blue, and this cannot. If you got the money, you all want more money, they need money for our safety, on the record. I actually purchased from local businesses in the border of the city of Opa-locka. And I've been questioned as to how do they get awards? Well, I know the Community Relation Board, and I'm on it. We haven't met, but I would like for this commission to crank it up so that we can be the committee that make recommendations, goals, and objectives of who get recognized. I want you all to look at the progress, the short progress that I actually know you can feel, you can see, and you can smell the difference in these couple of months. I'm asking you to adhere to the charter and to allow the manager, the interim manager, to do his job. Do his job and do it in accordance to the city charter. The windows that most of you all I've heard from the dais, staff always said I was smarter than a fifth grader, and I kind of believe I am smarter than a fifth grader. But we all want the same thing. We want a better city. We want a city that we can work and have fun and live in a safe environment. And I ask tonight, as you make your decisions, to know that the majority of you all didn't come in with the expertise, but those that wanted to share, they share. And for those that you felt comfortable, you went to. I think that this manager came in with no doubt, running with his head because of his experience. And one thing that I asked him before he was sworn in is come in and do the right thing. You know what he said? I would never mess my family name up. So guess what? Don't y'all mess the Father's name up, because the blood of our blood is on your shoulder to do the right thing. And we don't need resume enhancement. Promotions come from God. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, Commission, each and every one of you in your respective places. Good evening. Cheryl Kaysen, retired Chief of Police of the great city of Opa-locka. I'm here to say that, first of all, Mr. James Wright has come in, and I echo what Commissioner Johnson just said. Oh, I'm sorry. Welcome, 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 welcome. And I'm sure you'll get a warm welcome from them as well. About the police department and the manager. I'm riding through this city regular. I was here 3 times last week. I spoke with some people, some new people coming in speaking about investment. And I told them that we had a new city manager, and you well known, Mr. Wright. A lot of people know you. I was riding through the day, my fiance and I, and we ran into some folk, and they were doing some stuff and cleaning up, and I'm looking around and noticing we are doing stuff positive, progress. People are calling, employees are happier, and when people are happier, they can work happier, work better, come to work. And as far as our old employees, because people like to say old, but experience makes you better for the most part, and you're better, guys, because you're still here, and we love you. And I think you need a chance just as well as anybody we bring from anywhere else, because just because someone has a tag or a title doesn't mean they're the best man for the job. We need to utilize and stop looking over our employees that has dedicated their lives here, has grown here, raised their families here. And you know, there are incentives for people that work where they live. And one of the incentives is because they share the same concerns. Also, most of you are educators. We have children that live in this city, lots of them. We have schools in this city. I think some of these programs and things need to be opened up to. I raised my children here. My boys and stuff played on the park. There are not much activities. The pool is not open. We got to do some stuff. And I know we're bringing in Mr. Manager. Mr. Manager, I know you were the chief here as well, and some of these same things we discussed. And I'm glad to know that you're here. I know you have the experience, and we've spoken some, and you still listen. Things are going to come, but we have to utilize what we got. We have to use our resources. No problem bringing in others, but use also what we have. Make people feel important. Let them know that we do appreciate your stay here. People could have gone other places, but they stayed here, and we need to utilize what we have as well, because you would like the same sentiments. And keep up the good work, Mr. Manager. I got some stuff to tell you. People are really speaking highly of you. And Mother Daniels had a ministry luncheon this weekend, which I attended. She also spoke highly of you, and they were happy about you coming in unto their family stuff. See, that's one thing, and I'm finna let y'all go. Let me tell you something. When I was a police officer here, one of the main reasons I had good rapport and people was very receptive to me because I lived here and they knew me. So I wasn't no better other than my job. Somebody had to do it, but I wasn't no better than them. It's just like the garbage man. If they didn't pick up the trash, we'll be walking around in garbage. Everybody is essential and everybody is important, but we need to do better by the police department. I'm glad the chief has the bid out, which is a good thing, because we do need that leadership. No dismay to you, Chief Steele, interim chief, you know I love you dearly, but we need the leadership and the professionalism and bringing in the things that we need. Okay? All righty? Y'all, let's do it. We got the confidence. We the one got you here. God bless.
Good evening, Tarani Mitchell, 14225 Northwest 22nd Place, I want to thank the police department for being visual more out to Siegel Park. We have not had any of the homeless, laying around the park and being in the park, stopping the kids. I had an event out there Saturday. There was two there. I did call to have them removed off the park because there were, many kids out there playing. The young man came right away. He was very courteous, respectful. He was very professional. So I do want to thank the police department for their presence out on Siegel Park. I do want to ask, I don't know if anyone went out to check the timer on the lights. And since, the time change, it's still dark. So we might want to send somebody out to check those. My last thing, I'm bringing it back again about the applications for the mortgage assistance. Information was given to me that no one from the city or submitted applications or whatever, or one of the people that I had. Here's their confirmation. This is the confirmation number and everything, because I had them to send it to me. So if you guys want a copy, I do have them, so you guys can look into it, because it's not fair that we had people to put in their application and put it in on time to receive the assistance and didn't get a reply back. So we might want to, we can look into it, the application number and the submitting. I have everything right here because I had them to send it to me. But I just want to say overall, I thank you guys for sending the people out to cut the alley. We have to keep it clean. They are cutting, but they're leaving the big bulk of tree limbs and other trash in the alleyway. So we want to make certain that, they're told to get that as well, because that's part of the cleanup as well. Other than that, we want to keep doing what we're doing and move our city forward. Thank you.
Chris Roberts, 640 Dunat. Complaint. We have a commission, the mayor commission. Good afternoon. Everybody complain about change, but when change is made, we always have a problem with it. And it's very bad that we live in a city that everybody pay taxes in, and everybody is complaining and doing so many favors. At one point in time, Team Upward Bound would not step foot in their commission meeting until the dais changed. When they favor came on the commission, became the mayor, on the dais, everything changed. And they did nothing for us. But if you've been in business for 30 plus years and you don't own your own business, it's a problem somewhere. They still begging after 30 years, we have a problem. The other concern that I don't have the city manager phone number. So I don't know where everybody get that. Well, we call him and I talk to him on the phone, whatever. I don't have his phone number. Any complaints that I have, I take it through the city manager's office. I don't have nobody's phone number here. I don't want nobody's phone number here. I don't have to do that, because anything I have to say, I'll say to the people. But as a resident, we're tired of the same thing. We were paying $160,000 worth of salaries in park. And everybody complaining that they resigned. Why? For 2 years, they did nothing. They did nothing but collect the check here. Collect the check here. That's it. And it's a bad thing when you sit down and you say, well, oh, that's my sister. Oh, you shouldn't resign or whatever. They should have resigned. They did nothing. We running a park system where they have nothing here. The only kids that are on this park is the kids that they like the coaches. If they didn't have the coaches, nobody wouldn't be here. The other part, we have people on the dais, children down at a Team Upward Bound. If the management was so good on the park, why your children down there Team Upward Bound?
How you doing? Anya Martinez, 80 of Bowman Avenue. Yeah, so I just got a couple of complaints from my canvassing in the community, pretty much on Superior Street. People are saying that the potholes were fixed, but they don't see it as a permanent solution. So people want to know, with the money that the city is getting, when will those, like, that road be fully repaired? They say people have been there for like over 30 years, say that the road has never been fixed. So that's a main concern in the area. Also by, I believe by the canal, over in the area of Superior Street, by 135th. People also complaining that the fact that like their bills are still high. They saying due to like the canal not being clean or just water in the area, not being, the sewage in the area not being, repaired the right way. So people have concerns about that. And I just want to know, like, since James Bush came in here, $7 million was going to be given to the city. So I just want to know pretty much, the residents want to know also, when that report will be public, what I'm saying, pretty much saying like what repairs will be done. People want that. I also called the city manager, city clerk, the deputy city clerk, a couple weeks ago. They said that the report is going to be given like about 3 weeks. It's been more than 3 weeks from now, but also I just want to know if it's going to be on the site. It's going to be something that people need to request. So that's something that it's a concern of mine, a concern of residents and community. People want transparency. Transparency is something that people always talk about when I go to doors. Like that's the main concern. We talk about it, we want progress, that we want to see things change. I think transparency is the main way that you'll get the support of the community. So yeah, that's all I gotta say right now.
How you doing? I'm Bertrand Walthour. I live at 1781 Northwest 154th Street. I own like about 4 or 5 properties on the east side of 22nd and 154, 152. And I'm here to push for us to get sewer through that area. If you put an addition on your house and you don't have the required setback, then you got to get an aerobic system. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with the aerobic system, but then you have to have a service agreement with a septic tank company. You got to go through DERM, and the system is like probably like about $20-some thousand. So we want to try to get the sewer through that end of town. I think it's been overdue. They went down there and repaid, and they put storm drains down now. But we really pushing to have the sewer connection. I think it's going to help everybody out in the long run. So I feel like it's something that we need to make a priority, going back to the east side of 22nd and 154. All right.
Okay, citizens forum is open. Citizens forum is closed. We will jump, since there's no items, we will jump to the city manager's report.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, members of the commission. You have a report with respect to citizens' concerns from the previous meeting. Just a couple of highlights. We received during the period of March 4th through the 17th, building and license collected approximately $88,000 for occupational license and permits. About 2 weeks ago, as a result of a grant that we applied for, city has been notified that it will receive a $500,000 grant to develop an African-American Culture Center as part of the restoration of the historic City Hall. There's no match required. The city has also received a $50,000 county tree grant, primarily to plant approximately 150 trees on Purvis Avenue. We are obligated to provide a match of $16,667. We received some ongoing complaints with respect to that Cairo Lane in that particular area. The city has submitted the Cairo Lane assessment to the state for evaluation and determination as to what additional funding will be provided through the state revolving loan program. In addition to that, we are attempting to finalize discussion with Enterprise to upgrade the city's vehicle fleet with an additional 15 police vehicles and 16 trucks for public works and for code enforcements, Our gas station located 27th Avenue and Superior Street is nearing completion and construction. We expect that to be finalized by the end of April. And the ancillary project to extend the water main and supply the required adjacent new fire hydrant is similarly nearing completion as well. I believe that date is somewhere around April 5th or so. As a result of a police auction that occurred a few weeks ago, our first round, we received approximately $62,000 as a result of that auction. And those are some of the ongoing issues and concerns that we've been addressing and affecting the city. I had a conversation with the city's league to kind of get a better understanding of our policy premium and why it's so high. Currently reviewing that information to see where we can improve our premiums. The conversation and discussion with the league was part of that is that in 2016, the amount of money that was paid out in claims is why the premium was so high. But based upon the progressing years, those claims by the league have been decreasing, and they indicated that we should begin to see a reduction in that premium. That is it for right now, Madam Mayor. I'm willing to take any questions or concerns from the commission.
Are there any questions, concerns from the commission?
Madam Mayor,
Yes, Commissioner Bass.
good afternoon, everybody. There's a lot going on behind the scenes that some people are not privy to. We hear you and we'll continue to hear you. With that being said, I just have a major concern where we have a meeting where there's no agenda items. And that bothers me. So I'm just hoping that this is the last meeting that we'll walk into with an agenda that looks like this. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Madam Mayor,
Vice Mayor Taylor?
to the manager, what's the projection date for the completion of Historical City Hall? The projection date for the completion of Historical City Hall?
If I'm not mistaken, well, let me answer the question this way. We are on track for completion. There's some initial discussion with me and the Public Works Director with respect to the timeframe. I have asked him to coordinate and be aggressive in our approach to see if we can get that completed prior to year's end.
Okay, and also, you said about year's end?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and in regards to the information on the roadway restoration project, is there a way that we can put a link? We had it before on our website that tells the residents when those roads will be resurfaced?
We can do that. I'll coordinate with our IT director. And as a matter of fact, one of the conversations I had this week, not specifically with the IT director, is to begin to push out as much information as we can on the city's website regarding some of the ongoing things that we're doing and the progress that's being made in a number of areas.
Okay, and that concludes, yeah, I'm done, thank you.
Madam Mayor,
Yes, Commissioner Dominguez.
thank you. In regards to the city manager not having anything in the agenda, when I had my briefing, I had the same question. However, they were items that were not ready for him to review. And previously, in previous, I guess, years, when the prior mayor was here, his complaint was that he didn't have no backup documentation when it was presented to the commissioners and the mayor. I mean, if he doesn't have the backup documentation, how is he gonna present it to us? We're gonna ask the same question as far as where's the backup? So if he didn't have anything, it's because he requested the information from his staff and they didn't have it ready. So that's all I have to say.
Madam
about
Mayor?
that.
Yes, Commissioner Bass?
With all due respect, Commissioner Dominguez, I would like for the manager to answer by himself. I don't think he needs your assistance. Thank you.
Okay,
Um,
Madam Mayor, I'll say this. We were elected as legislators. There are 8 people that can put on legislation on an agenda. It is not fair to go and talk about the manager because the manager can put legislation on, vice mayor can put legislation on, and everybody up here can put legislation on. So if we feel that the agenda is too
Vice Mayor
empty.
Taylor,
I have the floor, Madam Mayor. I have the floor.
but you cut her off.
I asked for the floor. You gave me the floor. You gave me the floor.
Yeah, but we're not gonna listen.
But
We're
you
not.
gave me the floor, but it's not fair for us to attack.
No one's attacking. We're asking
She asked him a
questions.
question and he didn't respond. Everybody's responding. She asked him a
It's a
question.
question.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
thank you. I apologize. I didn't perceive her. I perceived that as a statement. And that was that she does not want to come to another commission meeting where there's nothing on the agenda. I didn't respond to that.
Madam Mayor, may I respond to the mayor, please? Me to the city manager?
Yes.
Like Vice Mayor said, we're all accountable for the agenda. That was not an attack. We all have the opportunity to put an item on the agenda. If you think it's just for him, well, that's your thoughts, but all of us. Thank you.
Mr. Manager,
Yes, ma'am.
in February 9th, 2022, I was on a Zoom with, along with Randy Grice, who was on that Zoom with me, with the Florida Health Department, if you recall. On that Zoom on February 9th, when, again, the Florida Health Department reached out to me to ask and to inform me that we received $500,000, which was amazing because usually, you know, that it was a grant that was received, a federal grant. Just want to let the public know that we received this grant. At that same time, we needed to write a proposal. Can you please give me an update on that proposal and about that, the $500,000 grant?
Sure. That $500,000 grant, I was under the impression that we had to, there was some application process. However, when I directed staff under the criteria to prepare the documentation, I specifically directed staff to come up with creative ideas that we would be able to utilize those dollars. What I initially got back was COVID testing sites, sending COVID test kits to homeowners, those kinds of things, right? So I rejected that. I asked them to go back to the drawing board. And they went back to the drawing board and pulled in Mr. Delane. He got together with other staff and came up with a proposal, a work program proposal that would be administered by partly through Miami-Dade College to employ through programmatic efforts members and individuals in this community. Recently, how recently, I think the day's Wednesday, it may have been Monday or yesterday, that the item was returned for some additional information. And it was indicated that we need to resolve that, I believe, by April 1st. So those, whatever outstanding questions there are, will be resolved by that date for us to participate.
Okay, that's great. And thank you all for even the proposal for that grant. That's amazing. And I think we need to make sure we highlight that here in the city. Moving on, are there any official board reports?
Madam Mayor?
Yes.
Yes, at the last commission meeting, there was a request to provide the status of the City of Opa-locka boards. I have provided everyone with a memorandum with the status of those boards, and I can take any questions.
Yes, we have it. Thank you so much. If we can make this public so that the public knows, maybe we can put on our website or something, what boards are available, what are open, because just like former Commissioner Dorothy Dottie Johnson stated, we have boards, but we need to, make sure that we fill them as soon as possible.
Madam Mayor, if I may respond, the information is currently on the city's website as
perfect.
well as the board application. So if anyone is interested in filling out the board application to serve on any of the boards, then I would encourage them to visit the website and fill out the application.
This information is on?
All the vacancies and
Okay.
each individual board,
Got it.
along with the ordinance for each board, which kind of spells out the terms and the duties of each board. All of that is on the website now.
Perfect. Thank you so
Okay.
much. Okay. And then hopefully we can, moving forward, we can get more residents involved into filling those positions. Any future agenda items?
Sorry, Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I'd like to appoint someone to the Civil Service Board. She actually submitted the application, which is Faralba Wright. I have an individual appointment that I would like to appoint Faralba Wright to the position in the Civil Service Board.
Ms. Flores?
I'm sorry, Madam Mayor. So the appointment is an individual appointment from Commissioner
Yes.
Dominguez for Florelba Wright
Mhm.
to the Civil Service Board. Got
No,
it.
we don't need to vote on it. Okay.
Thank you.
Any future agenda items?
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
okay, a couple. One, I want the manager to negotiate with the county to establish a special taxing district where their heavy equipment transporters use roadways. So a special taxing district in the commercial areas. And also, I also want to do another study on, for annexation of the industrial area to the west of our city and to the south of our city. Because we need to be more revenue driven. I want to, help bring that, our taxes down for our residents. So we need to get a little more money flowing into the city. So annexation and special taxing district.
Okay. Can we have a motion?
Move it.
Moved by Commissioner Dominguez,
Second.
second by Commissioner Bass.
Vice Mayor Taylor,
Yes.
Commissioner Baz.
Yes.
Commissioner Dominguez.
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
Okay. Also, having this conversation, interesting, talking about beautification, I would definitely like to proffer the item of the container, ensuring that the residents contain their items, specifically the unsightly items in their yard. I know that has been a prolonged issue. So, and we do know that other municipalities have had that into law. So if we can, I would like to proffer that item. Can I have a motion?
Move it.
Moved by Commissioner Bass,
Second.
Second by Vice Mayor Taylor. Roll call.
Commissioner Baz?
Yes.
Commissioner Dominguez?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Taylor?
Yes.
Mayor Williams?
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
Any more future agenda items?
Yes, Madam Mayor.
Yes, Commissioner Dominguez.
Thank you. Former Commissioner Riley started to speak about it, but I wanted to, I would like to propose an ordinance enacting a code enforcement board. I've done some research, and other cities that have code enforcement boards are the City of Miami, North Miami Beach, City of Fort Lauderdale, and City of Vero Beach. Currently, the code enforcement special magistrate is done via Zoom. I know it was done this way because of COVID. However, I am requesting for the meeting to go back to regular meetings in person. This will avoid technical issues of a respondent not being able to log on and present their case. I have seen screenshots of a resident that was trying to log on and was unable to log on, and calling was also a failure. Therefore, he was unable to present his case. I would also like to recommend having a second special magistrate or a backup. This will avoid prejudice in favor or against one person or group, usually in a way considered unfair, basically being biased. This has also happened in the past with a business owner that went in front of the magistrate and knew the respondent. And according to the Code of Ordinance, it states that no special master shall act in any case in which that special master has a conflict of interest. If the special master has a conflict of interest with any case, he or she shall orally announce such at the scheduled hearing and shall notify the clerk of code enforcement, whereby that case shall be rescheduled or hearing before another special master. This is why I would like to recommend either having a secondary special master or someone that is actually here. I know that we have someone now, but unfortunately they're in session with Tallahassee, and we're backed up about a month because I requested a code enforcement log of the meeting that they had, and they didn't have anything for March. So the last one was in February, meaning that in April, we're gonna have all those code enforcements that went and gave tickets, is gonna be backed up. So I would like to bring, basically to propose an ordinance enacting a code enforcement board. Therefore, if the magistrate, it's, we have to give the residents and the businesses due process. Everybody has a right to, present their case in front of the magistrate and board. If both groups find them guilty, we can say that it was a fair process. They just have to pay the lady at the end of the day. If they have to pay, they have to pay, but I think we need to be fair. So I would like to propose an ordinance to enact the code.
Madam Mayor,
Oh, yes.
if I may be heard, and I just didn't want us to go too far down the road where, I didn't say anything and explain. What cities have is either a code enforcement board or they have a special magistrate. And as you all may know, most cities have gotten away from the boards. There is a process to have multiple code enforcement magistrates, special magistrates in your code. I have, I made the former, this issue has come up before, and I made the former city manager aware of the process, and I know the code enforcement officer is aware of it as well. So that process can be initiated by the city manager right under your code right now, so that you can have multiple people who can sit as special magistrates and get those cases moving. But you don't have, and you won't see a board and a magistrate process, because there's a Florida statute that deals with code enforcement issues, and it allows for either or, it allows for one or the other, not for both. So I'm happy to talk with you about it offline, but I just wanted to be clear so that if that were carried out and you all voted on it, you would know, what the law is with respect to it.
Madam Attorney, through the mayor, I read the Florida Statute 162, and it stated that you can have a code enforcement board, and other cities have it, so.
No,
sure.
I'm not arguing with you about that. What I'm simply saying is that you have one or the other. Right now, you all have a special magistrate process. That's what you have in the city of Opa-locka. You can certainly improve that by doing the latter part of what you suggested. But in terms of setting up a board, like if that were to be a motion, you can't do it with a special magistrate process. Under the statute, it's one or the other. Right. And so what I was suggesting is that maybe we can improve and address your issues by simply just having the manager upstart the process for the selection of additional special magistrates.
Okay, Mr. Manager. You know.
Well, I was gonna say that I'm not sure if we're talking about the same meeting, but staff had indicated to me some of the some issues and concerns, let's put it that way, that they expressed to me. And so I have a resume of one attorney, and I was looking for two more to begin that process.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. I would like to say that with the legislation that I proffered before with the illegal dumping, the magistrate also was involved in that process. So having someone steady would be great, because that does ensure that when we do get down eventually to the illegal dumping process and those that need to be heard, that they're heard in a timely manner and that we can collect. So any more future agenda items? Nope. Mayor commission reports. Anyone? Okay. I just want to state that we went to the, I'm looking in the audience, the Florida Black elected officials, Florida Black Caucus of elected officials, like a lot of letters, in Kissimmee, Florida. And it was amazing that we were able to network with a lot of other cities and to get just to see and hear what's going on. And then to find out that our very own John, former mayor / commissioner John Riley, as well as I believe, Dr. Look, I'm speaking into existence. Former Commissioner Dottie Johnson were the catalyst for this movement, and like founders, so I guess if they have a Founders Day that, you guys have to be, which by the way is next year, and they're encouraged us to be there. So I am so happy. Had I known that, we'd have been like, and we, but that's amazing. And we had a great time. So I want to thank you all just for the vision for that. Also today, I was able to be on a Zoom, a national Zoom with the Congressional Black Caucus. And it was amazing. We talked about women leading and how, as women, we continue to be at the forefront of the magic of making things happen. I would like to say that when I joined the board, I talked about being a change agent, making change. One thing I do know, there's always a meeting before the real meeting, and that is what's been taking place. The meetings before the meetings. Disheartening to know that many of our employees left the city, removed from the city while we were out of town. That's very disheartening. And we do know, according to the charter, under commission powers, we can inquire. We can inquire and we can ask questions. But that communication failed to trickle down to the commission. Unfortunate, because there's one thing as a leader that I know. People leave people, not organizations. Make no mistake, it doesn't matter. That's what it is. We're going to continue to work hard. I'm going to continue to work hard, even if I'm the lone single vote. But I'm going to work hard because I will not form alliances or try to make others look bad to build others up. I will not do that. I'm going to at all times make the right decision, no matter what. And that's all I have to say. Can I have a motion to adjourn? Moved by Commissioner Dominguez,
Second.
second by Vice Mayor Taylor.